And we are live on another edition of All In on High School Sports. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. As we always start off, talk about sports, right? NFL draft in the books. NHL playoffs getting going yesterday. NBA playoffs rolling. No Knicks, but of course, no Nets. MLB baseball, Yankees hot, Mets hot. So in this area, big baseball. And yes, you know I'm going to. Dr. John Taylor. Another week of Russ as our quarterback. But tonight we're going to talk some high school sports. What do we got rolling tonight?
Tonight we are going to welcome the coach Frank Mele and his assistant coach Feorenzo of Bergen Tech softball, who's off to a hot start to start the season. And then we'll also be joined by Lindsay Lafferman, who is the girls'
Wait, the undefeated.
Well, I wasn't going to give it away until I
We're going to
introduced
give it
them,
away.
But thanks for ruining.
The undefeated
Yep,
Bergen Tech.
Exactly. Was going to get that in their intro, but thank you for stealing my thunder.
There you go.
So I was going to do it, and they were on the screen so they can enjoy the accolades.
Oh, let's tell them again.
So, and we'll also be joined by Lindsay Lafferman of Jersey Thunder, the Jersey Thunder Club lacrosse team, and the Lax on Summer program. So we'll be talking a little softball and a little girls lax tonight.
Let's get going.
All right, we have our guests in the waiting room, so I am going to admit them right now.
Okay.
And we'll make sure we are all situated. Looks like we are ready to go.
By the way, Dr. John saying Kurt isn't taking the Golf Star chart as serious as my 8-year-old.
Exactly. Hi, coaches. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. It looks like Coach Mele is still connecting to audio there. I'm not sure if if he can hear us or not.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure if he... Well, it looks like you're texting him there, Coach. So you know what? I will introduce you guys while we are getting situated. Thanks so much for reaching out to him. So we are joined tonight by Coach Frank Mele and his assistant coach Lauren Feorenzo. Coach, am I saying your last name correctly?
Yes,
all right.
That was very good.
Okay, I don't usually do that well, so thank you. Coach Mele has amassed over 100 wins with Bergen Tech since the 2014 season. This season, they are off to an impressive 15-0 start. They're still alive in the Bergen County tournament, where they are seeded 5th and will take on Glen Rock this Saturday. And as I said, he is joined by his assistant coach, Feorenzo. So I'm not sure what we want to do with Coach down there.
I'm gonna try calling him.
Okay. So we're working on Coach. Again, it's very successful the past couple years, but even this year now, to another level.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and again, it'll be one of the questions we ask them, but the respect that they're getting as a 5th seed,
why don't you
seed.
Talk a little bit to the powerhouses that are in Bergen County for softball?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's, you know, again, I've coached in North Jersey softball. We always talk about the football, and we always talk about, but I am going to say and be a little, I guess, prejudiced with this, where that Bergen County softball tournament is one of, if not the best in New Jersey. You know, you're talking IHAs, you're talking Ramapos, you're talking, you know, the old Tapans. And that's just like we're saying this year. I mean, IC has been a powerhouse. You know, you had the Mawas, Park Ridge in the past, they're back now. And, you know, to be a 5th seed, to get that respect as a seed, as a 5th seed from the committee,
right.
It just shows that, you know, this team is for real and a legit, you know, contender to win this whole thing. So...
Yeah, no, definitely. And, you know, in doing our research for tonight, as you said before, you know, they've had back-to-back good seasons, right? And I believe that, you know, Coach took over in 2014, and, you know, obviously we said back-to-back. You got a COVID year in there as well that's missing. But, you know, in 2019, they upset IHA in the county tournament, the top seed at the time. So... not sure. Again, looks like Coach is still... Sure, you know what? Why don't we do that? Coach, are you okay if we start with you a little bit?
Sure. Hopefully he figures it out.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's...
Kenny Kirkpatrick is saying good evening, all in families. Kenny's saying hello from Maryland.
Thanks for tuning in, Kenny Kirkpatrick. I'm not sure if Coach is, if I should hide his camera there.
That's fine. We'll work around it.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what, Coach, I'm going to start with you. So you guys are undefeated this year. So I was wondering a little bit, like we said, you guys are building off some other good seasons as well. But, you guys, game after game after game, you've won some close ones. I mean, you're outscoring teams by a lot. And the same token, what's it been like getting off to that great start? Like game after game, do you see like an increase in confidence in the girls? Do you also feel like you guys now, every opponent you see, have a little bit of a target on your back? Like, what's that been like for you guys?
I definitely think as the season goes on, you see their confidence building. It was really big for them this year to be able to go to Florida and come together as a team. We didn't have that last year, unfortunately. So you could tell if you compare our seasons last year, we were off to a rough start. So just coming out, winning 1, 2, 3 games was enough for the girls to come together. They're still fairly young. We do have some seniors, but for the most part, it's a core sophomore and junior group. But they know there's a target on their back, but when they step on the field, it doesn't get in their heads, which I think is really important that we keep reminding them. Of course, as we continue to win, their teams are going to want to beat us. We have teams now are coming back around in our league game. So we were supposed to play Clifton this week, the rain delay. So we'll see them Friday. And being an athlete myself, I know that if I were in their position, I'd want to come out strong and hard. So as long as our girls just know that target is there, but they don't let it get in their head, I think they'll be okay.
It's funny. I wanted to ask you that question because I feel like, having been a former coach myself, and you're in a program and you have you have different types of seasons, right? I remember having one team in particular that did like start off undefeated like you guys, and I just remember like they almost stepped on the field with like a little bit of a swagger at one point, but like not in a cocky way, but in like this confidence, and it was actually like a really nice thing to see them like step on that confidently, So I was just curious how that'd been for you guys. So thank you.
Coach, I'll go to you, and again, you can speak as an assistant, but again, you're there. You've been with the program, so you'll be able to speak about it. Again, last couple of years, very successful. Can you just talk about the Bergen Tech softball program? Overall, just give a quick little overview of the program.
Of course, Frank would definitely be able to speak on this more, considering this is only my 3rd year with the program, 2nd year actually having a season. But from what I've seen, being a player that played them, Bergen Tech was always somebody that people just wrote off. They just assume that for them, it's not a sports-focused school. And I was surprised coming in myself, they turned the program around, and I think that's credit to the coaches and, of course, the players that have entered the school. But they're a team that's going to make you earn the points that you put up on the board. If given that opportunity, they're going to put you through the ringer. They're not going to let you have that game just because you think you deserve it. So I think this year especially, we've proven that they're just as tough as any other team that in Bergen County.
Yeah, and you know what? And again, I love if Coach can come on. Just like I was talking to Jen, the history of the Bergen County tournament, there's so many powerhouses there. And for you guys to get, seeded 5th, I think that shows so much respect from these other teams to give you guys a 5 seed, and, and again, it's another question I'll ask later, but, you mentioned like college basketball tournament, you look and you're like, okay, they have a good record, but they're a 7 seed, they're an 8 seed, you guys, to get that 5th seed, like what does it mean to you as a coaching staff? And I'm saying the girls overall, like for you guys to get that respect from the others to be a 5th seed in a Bergen County tournament.
Really quick, I just want to let you know, I think he's waiting in the waiting room.
Okay. Put him back in.
If he comes on.
Okay. I had put him back in the waiting room just to see if there was I was trying to get in touch with him.
There he is.
There he is.
Awesome.
If you want to direct that to him,
I will.
Hi, Coach. How you doing? Oh, it looks like it's still connecting to the audio.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
There he is.
All right. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Hi. Good. How's everybody?
Good, good, good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. All right, I'll let you re-ask that question.
Okay,
Maybe.
so actually, we want me to go back to the first one for Coach?
Whatever you'd
All right,
like to
Coach,
do.
I'll go first. And again, Coach Feorenzo did a great job of answering, but obviously I want to get your opinion too. If you could just talk a little bit about the Bergen Tech softball program, and especially the last couple years and even more this year, why so successful?
Well, we have a solid nucleus of girls. I've been there 12 years, 3 as an assistant, and we've had a winning record every year except one. But what it is I think a lot of people see Bergen Tech more as an academic school. And with the success we've had in softball 7, 8 years ago, opened the door for people to know that they can come here, get a great education, and play quality softball. And it's a very hard school to get in academically. So we're lucky with what we get, but the girls we get are committed. And more and more girls are applying now because they know they can come here and we have a very good program. And we do it pretty much year round. We do summer, we do fall, we do winter training. And we're lucky with the girls we get. And, hopefully more girls will want to come here and play softball.
Can I go one more to Coach? Coach, and one more, I was talking again before, and, I don't know, I don't want to say it's equivalent to it, but it makes you think of like college basketball, right? With Gonzaga, right? Good season, good season, good season. And people were still like, okay, but they're not seated high. Now you guys get the respect. You're 15-0. And I think the respect, we were talking about Jen with Bergen County softball is so competitive. And for you guys to get a 5 seed, the respect I think that you guys earned from everybody out, the committee, what does it mean for you to get that 5 seed in the Bergen County tournament?
I'll tell you, it means a lot because I'll go back real quick. A couple of years ago, we had a couple really good players, 100 hits, 100 RBIs. But because of our schedule, we played us and Fairlawn. The leagues we're in are all with Passaic County teams. So we weren't playing a lot of Bergen County teams. So our players weren't getting any recognition. Gianna Baez, Tara Spenley, girls that had 100 hits, 100 RBIs, couldn't even make third team All-County because all the coaches we'll never saw them play. So what I started doing was my AD gave me the freedom. We get our set schedule with our league and our crossover division games, and then he lets me book the rest of the games. So I started reaching out to the better programs and trying to book as many independent games as possible, like with the Mawas and the Ramseys and schools like that. And we've been competitive with them. And plus they like to play us for the PowerPoints because we're a 4. But then we started getting the respect that these teams are know that we're a competitive team, that we're not just, playing the, weaker teams, that we can compete with these teams. To ever get over the hump to be, an IHA or an Indian Hills or a Old Tapan, Ramapo, I don't know if we'll ever do that, but the fact that, we're at that next tier and that we finally get the respect that we get ranked that high. 2019, we were having a really good year, and we thought we'd be like a 10 or a 12, and we were ranked 17th. And so we played the 16th seed, and our girls, they came out like they were in a cage. They couldn't wait to play because they were angry. And we came out and we beat the 16 pretty good, and then we went on and we beat the 1. And then we lost 4-2 in the quarterfinals to a really good Old Tapan team, but we had our chances. We had bases loaded 2 times with nobody out, couldn't get the big hit, and they outplayed us. And I believe they won the tournament that year. They were a great team. But with that, we're starting to get the respect. A couple of years ago, we had a player, Gianna Sarlo, who sophomore year made third team All-County. Junior year made second team All-County. And then junior and senior made first team all county finally, and she's playing at Boston College now. But she really kind of opened the door. And when teams see that we have these kind of players, the Casey Calabreses, the Asia Christmases, and players like that in 17, 18, and 19, it really started rolling the ball, and they're not playing. We had a really good team in 2020, and I feel so bad for those girls that didn't get to play because of COVID. But then we bounced back last year, and it was hard because, we couldn't go to Florida. We hadn't played in a year. We really didn't know what we had. Our freshman class had never played. We had a couple of sophomores that wound up playing last year and contributing that are juniors now. And we won 19 games last year. Went 19-10. We had one senior graduate, and then we had another player not return this year. But we had other players just got better and stepped up, and we got to go to Florida, and we were there at the same time with Ramsey and Indian Hills and Paramus and Ramapo, and we all were playing each other. And these coaches are coming up and going, you guys are going to be all right. You guys are going to be all right. And it's preseason, so you don't know if they're playing the starters or if we were, or they, we just down there to get in shape, not down there to win. We just, but we did want to be competitive, and I think we have been. And those teams are just so good, and even to be, mentioned, I mean, it's an honor because and the coaches, they're the best. Brian Hay, Darren White, Chris Caserta, Joe Light, all these guys. I mean, these guys will have 300, 400, 500 wins, and then they treat a guy like me like I'm one of them, and I'm not. But they're the best people, and they give you tips, and they give you encouragement, and it's an honor. And then I have an assistant coach who was a great player at Paramus, who played for Brian Hay, and she brings a lot of that fire and that things that like the public schools have that. Because they come from a feeder program or whatever. Our girls, they go to 4 different schools. A lot of them don't even know each other until they meet for softball. And then they bond more and become, really good friends and teammates. And, in the beginning, like pre-Lauren, it was more like, well, it's Bergen Tech, it's educational, and we really hope to be competitive. But now adding Lauren and that fire, and they see, this girl, I mean, she was a fierce competitor. I coached against her when I was assistant. My daughter played against her, and her other sister Tori. And everyone knows that they call them Tori and Lori. She hates that, but it just brings a lot. And like we're down in Florida, and we see Brian, and we play Paramus, and we're playing all these teams, and it really, it convinces our girls, like, we're almost there. Maybe we're there. We can play with these teams, and this is the best of the best. Those teams, and IHA, but IHA doesn't really go to Florida. But all the other teams, the Indian Hills, Ramapo, Ramsey, Paramus, that's the cream of the crop. Old Japan. I mean, you got some great programs, and they have a tradition, and they're just every year they're good, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, we don't have a feeder program. We don't recruit. I could tell you a lot of girls that are at other schools that applied didn't get in. So we get what we get, but the more girls that apply, the better chance we have of getting some of them that are players. Mm-hmm. And, when we're deep, we had 55 girls try out. We have a JV team, freshman team, and those are dying in a lot of the schools. So they just don't have enough players.
That. Yeah, that's great.
And this year we actually, in the past, your better players were all moving up playing JV or varsity. But this year we have like pitchers at every level. Our freshman team is good. Our freshman coach, Crystal, does a great job. Mama Z, Coach Dana with the JV, and they finally have pitchers like, last, the JV might have took the freshman pitcher 1 year. So the freshman team is throwing an outfielder, just trying to get her to throw strikes or whatever. But this year, we got a nice balance. We got like about 6 catchers in the program, and we're doing all right, and we're really excited. We're having a good season, And the best is, yet to come. And that'll be the true measure of if we've made those strides or not, is how we do going forward, because now every game pretty much counts.
Real quick,
I mean,
from
more than the others.
From Anthony Mataloni, former Ramapo football player, said, "Shout out to Bergen Tech. My girlfriend is an alum. Good luck to the Bergen Tech Knights."
Very nice. Thanks for
Thank you.
Coach, you mentioned, a lot of having like a good nucleus of players as leading to your success. So I was wondering if you could take a moment and highlight some of the players on your team. As a side note, Kurt and I personally know one of your players. When I reached out to you, we want to give a little shout out to Olivia Gilmore, who is one of your players who does some, we call her an intern. I guess, she's doing her senior, what do they call it there? I don't want to call it internship. Yeah. So she does a phenomenal job for us. We are so thankful and lucky to have her. So we just wanted to give her a quick shout out. But if you could highlight some of the players on your team, that would be great.
Yeah, and I don't want to leave anyone out, because I'll tell you one thing. Not only has every girl contributed, but has bought into the whole team concept and the program. Starting with Olivia, for example. Last year we had a girl, Emily, was our catcher, and you would think, okay, well, we're going into senior year, she'll be our catcher, but we told them all from day one, everyone is going to get a chance. No one is going to be able to say they didn't have a chance to compete for a job. And Olivia worked her tail off last summer and playing for Ravens and doing all the off season. And we went into spring training, and we're impressed with both of them. We're who's going to win the job? And basically it's become a platoon. They catch every other game. And sometimes they win one game, they actually quit every other inning. And they're both doing a great job. And I wish I had one of them next year instead of two of them this year, but they've done really a phenomenal job, and they pull for each other, when the one's DH and then the other one's catch, however it works out. They'll warm up the pitcher, they'll warm up, if we have to warm up a relief pitcher or something. We'll start in the circle. Riley Sobel from Ramsey. She's a junior. She would have been our number 2 as a freshman. She was our number 1 her sophomore year. She made second team all county. She's a really good pitcher. She probably had, and working with Lauren, I think Lauren calls a great game. Is Lauren even still on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. But Lauren's very tough with her and gets her to a fire going in her. And when Riley steps in the circle, she's all business. She's got she's got the full variety of pitches. We talked that she had to pick up 4 to 5 miles an hour on her fastball and all her other pitches. She's an intense competitor. She's 3 strikeouts shy of 300 for her career in 2 years. I think she's given up 3 runs this year, 4 runs all year. And she's a great hitter. She's as clutch a hitter as any hitter I've coached in the 10 years I've been there. She just always has a good at bat. I mean, she goes up there with a plan. She studies the other pitcher the whole game. She's an absolute genius. At the Academy, she's one of the smartest people you'll ever meet. And she absorbs everything like a switch. Lauren wasn't there during the summer. I was calling pitches one game. And I would tell her 6, 7, and 8's coming up. And it would be like I was talking to Dr. Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. She's going back in her mind the entire sequence of every kid she pitched to the last time around through the batting order, what she threw them, what they fouled off, what she got them to chase. And she's just so smart. I mean, she's going to probably run NASA or something when she's all done. But on the mound, she's phenomenal. And hitting, it's the same thing. She goes up there with a plan. She has a good idea what the pitcher's going to throw. She looks for her pitch. She drives in a ton of runs. And that's cleanup. So our top 3 hitters, and I'll go to the top of the order. Nina Sarlo, every at-bat, as I walk past, I go, Nina, I'll see you at third. And Nina goes, okay, coach. And every game, and what started with her sister Gianna, who batted lead off for 4 years for me, we use a numbers signal for plays. And I had a very good friend, Lenny Hatton, who was an FBI agent from Richfield Park, who died on 9/11. And every game I pay tribute to him. With the first play of the game is 9/11. And Hank Teal is one of the renowned umpires in Bergen County. He's from Richfield Park. He was a quarterback. If Hank is the best umpire in Bergen County, if he wanted to coach, he would have been one of the best baseball or softball coaches in Bergen County. But Hank grew up, played football with Lenny, and Hank gets, whenever I see him, when Hank does one of our games, I do the 9/11. He looks at me, and he knows. And it's not something I make a big deal about, but that's how we start every game. And Nina came in with a lot of pressure. You know, she's Gianna's sister, and I said, you don't have to be Gianna, you just have to be Nina. And she has been, and she's even keeled, brilliant kid, has her own business. She has her own clothing company that she started. She's 16 years old, and it's a real company. She has like a warehouse in China or something. I mean, it's a phenomenal kid. It's true. It took her a year just to get started. And she gets us going, and she's a great base runner, clutch hitter. Then we go to our number 2 hit, and she plays the hell out of shortstop. And, you know, she could probably be a center fielder or play anywhere. She came in to pitch. She like was throwing gas. We let her pitch one game. Never took a lesson in her life, but she was always the best pitcher in Little Ferry, whatever her age group was. Never wanted to pitch, but she could play anywhere. And I always tell her, 2 out, second and third, I want the ball hit to you. Our third baseman, Trinity, I call her the human highlight film. She's dirty. She's diving. She's bouncing off of fences. She's stealing bases. She's colliding with people. She's just exciting to watch. She does all the little things. She plays third base. She could be an outstanding catcher. Maybe she's our center fielder of the future. I don't know. But she just represents. And then she's another BCA kid, high IQ. I've seen kids try to learn to slap and bat lefty, and you know, it's something that takes years and years. In a very short amount of time, she's become serviceable at it, and she can bunt, she can slap lefty, and with her speed, that extra couple of steps, it's turned a couple games around. And she, you look at her, she had a little muscle from last year, but she powers up. She can hit the long ball. And she's a great third baseman. Between her and Riley, they're so hard to bunt on, and that's key. Our 3 hitter is Ashley O'Hagan. She's about 6 hits shy of 100 for career. She's hit some of the longest home runs I've ever seen. There's a tree hanging over the left field fence in Ramsey. Last year we were playing there. And they go, we're going over the ground rules. And what about the tree? They go, well, you know, it's like a wall, but no one's ever hit it. 2 innings later, Ashley hits through the trees. It's on the other side of the fence, and they're going ground rule double, ground rule double. Like, how's that a ground rule double? If the tree wasn't there, the ball would still be going. But after about 10 minutes, they ruled it a home run. Then she hit another one that game, and she hit one in North Arlington. It dented a car that. So people parked at the back of the parking lot so they wouldn't get hit, and she hit it. She's got tremendous power, and she's a clutch hitter, and she loves to play. I've known her since she was a little kid. She's from my town. Her twin brother and my son are our best friends, our families. I coached her father in baseball 30-something years ago. And I don't know if I should say it, but, you know, they were considering, you know, moving and maybe playing at Indian Hills or Ramapo or whatever, and they both got into Bergen Tech. But I wanted her to know that we had this kind of program. So one summer I was short a girl when she was in 7th grade. And I called her up and I'm like, can you come play? And she did, and she saw the talent we had. And I don't know if it made a difference on her decision to come to Bergen Tech or not. But she was also played club, played first base, third base, catcher. And I said, you know, what a good athlete. You know, maybe she could play the outfield. Everybody's like, you're crazy. And long story, man. I hit her a million fly balls, gap. I always hit gap to gap on her. You know, I hit one to left center, one to right center. I never try not to hit them right at her. And she just runs everything down. And I was at Teal's one day, and her club coach came over to me, and he said, what made you think Ashley could play center? And I said, just had a feeling she's such a good athlete. I've seen her play basketball. I've seen her play soccer. I've seen her play softball. So why can't you can play power forward if you can play, striker in soccer. Why don't you go snag some fly balls and she's an outstanding defensive center fielder. Am I going on too long?
No, go
No,
ahead.
no,
We want
go
to
ahead.
hear.
Yeah.
This is one of our things we like to highlight the players. So please continue.
Okay. And Coach Warren's going to back me on this one. Then this girl, Kalina Figal, last year, she was sub, played, a little here and there, did okay. She would hit some missiles, and we'd always just say, if she could just do that consistently, she'd be a star. Well, this year, from day one, she worked so hard over the winter, and she came in and from day one just opened eyes. And she's got this swing that the ball jumps off her bat like a guided missile. And in a couple of close games, she's hit some big home runs to get us going. She was up for Player of the Week last year. She's legitimately hitting over 500, because we're really tough with the book, thumbs up, thumbs down, hits, errors and stuff. And she's hitting it legit, driving in runs, and she's a solid outfield. She's a very good right fielder. She's got a gun for an arm, and great player. I can't wait. She's got her for another year or two. I went over my two catchers, Olivia and Emily. They're both doing a great job, both getting big hits. Olivia's gotten some huge bunts down, gotten some big hits, and they both played really well defensively behind the plate. Our left fielder is Sammy Lee. She was a sophomore. She was on the freshman team last year. We brought her up a little bit to run and play some outfield, and then she goes, well, I'll try to make some of the summer games. I think she made every game, and every game in the fall, and then did teals in the winter. And I cannot say enough about teals. If that's a plug or whatever, maybe we'll get a good deal from Garrett next year on the team. But and she just won the left field job, and she's doing a good job. She was solid defensively. We've played really well defensively, which is good. Usually Riley gets about 8, 10, 12 strikeouts a game. So we got to, you got to be on your toes, because you might go in anywhere they don't hit a ball. But our defense has played well, and Sammy's done a good job in left. She's had some big hits, and our first baseman, Sydney Wexler, she's sophomore year. She's a good first baseman, and we hit for her a lot. And this year, she's hitting really well. So we have a nice problem with the two catchers. That gives us like 10 starters. So what we do is we've been rotating the flex and the DP, and nobody seemed to complain yet about it. So they're all working at it. And Sid's been hitting the ball real good lately. Even if she has a bad at bat, she puts the ball in play. But she gets some big hits, some line drives, and she's an above average. She's a solid, very good defensive first baseman. Let's see, I did that whole outfield. I did the infield except second base, where we have Gianna Strapone, a sophomore from Saddlebrook. She's our number 2 pitcher. She's an outstanding defensive second baseman. She's made some plays. There was one game, the other team had bases loaded, no outs, and she backhanded in the hole, got the out at first. They scored a run. That was the only run they got that inning. And she don't make that play. 2-run scores, maybe it's second and third, big inning. But, she did real well defensively, and offensively, she's coming around. She had a good year offensively last year. This year, she didn't get off to a great start, but the swing's starting to come. She's gotten some key hits, some real clutch bunts down too, and she's a good base runner. And when called upon, we honestly really thought we'd have more of a split on the pitching, but like I said, Riley, the jump she made from last year to this year, she's moved from, it used to be like there were going to be pitchers 1 and 1A. Now it's 1 and 2. She just moved up to elite status, which, for Gianna, it must be tough. But when we need her, she's ready to go. And, we have a lot of games coming up bunched up. So hopefully maybe she'll get a little more opportunity to pitch. But she's definitely a legit pitcher, and she works hard. And, that's pretty much our 10 girls. And we have, we're deep in the outfield. We have Julianne, and Shauna. When called upon, they do a good job, and it's tough, with the season we're having, to find playing time for everybody. And Gianna Smith is our backup first baseman. And then we brought up Sarah Manella from freshman to run and help out here and there. But I was, personal experience, my high school team was so good. 8 guys played in college, 3 got drafted, that I didn't play much because the team was just so good. If I was on any other school, I would have played a lot. And that's the situation here is our team is pretty good, and it's hard for these kids to crack the lineup if they were in another school or if they were a year younger or whatever. But, it's hard. But, it's a team, and everybody's ready when they're needed to be. And that's how we go at it. But, the chemistry is good. Camaraderie. Everybody picks each other up. They have a good time. I always tell them 4 things: play as hard as you can, play as hard as you can, learn as much as you can, have as much fun as you possibly can, and be the best teammate you can be. And if you do those 4 things, the 5th thing is you'll win. And go home dirty and just be the best teammate. And and the other thing too is that our freshman and JV coaches do a great job, and Lauren and I are developing. I even said the other day, we're becoming friends. We're more than just coaches. We're becoming friends, and we do try to have fun, but between the lines, we're all business. And like today, we played Riverdale, and their coach was Brian Calabrese, who was a great coach. He was my assistant for 6 years, and so it was. We had a chemistry, and it took a little while, but now Lauren and I are developing a very good chemistry where we feed off each other, her input and my input. And, we agree 99% of the time, and, it's a great relationship, and I'm lucky. I am very lucky to have her. She's a great coach, and, and this, like our AD, I mean, that poor guy, it's a big school with lacrosse and golf and tennis and baseball and softball and volleyball, and then he's got to schedule everything, and then we just keep adding more games because we're lucky enough to keep playing. I mean, I do a quick joke, all right? Like a couple of years ago, we'd go through 6 dozen balls a year. We play, our field is located right on the river. We went through like 6 dozen balls a game because we never had home playoff games. We never had home county games, never had home state games. We play in the Vote Tech tournament, which is like, Burlington Tech and Sussex Tech and Morris Tech and Gloucester, all the tech schools in New Jersey. So so now we're having all these home games because so like this year we've probably gone through 10 balls already because we hit so many in, we hit so many in the river. Every time somebody hits one, I'm yelling, "You owe me $6." Riley was up today. She hit 3 in a row in the river. I'm going in, Mother, you want to give me cash, or are we going to run a cat? What are we doing?
Oh, funny. Thanks, Coach, for highlighting the girls. Like I said, when we started this, that's one of our goals is to give the notoriety to as many programs and players really as possible. So thank you for that. Our next little segment we like to do is called Rapid Fire. So we each have a couple of quick questions to fire at you. Why don't we do? We'll go Coach Feorenzo first, and then Coach Mele, you can answer. You want to start us off?
Yeah, guys, your colors is it black and yellow or black and gold?
Vegas gold.
Okay, so if you could only have one color like gear, like a sweatshirt, would you take the black, the gold, a gray, or a white? Coach Feorenzo, you're first.
Oof, white.
Yes.
Coach, you're up.
White. I'm not arguing with Lauren.
Okay.
All right. Your favorite gear between these 3? Would you pick Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas?
Ooh, that's tough, but lately it's been Under Armour.
We're an Adidas school, so I gotta say Adidas.
Okay.
I'm wearing Under Armour right now.
So if we want to come see you guys play and we want to watch you in your home field, but then we want to go get some pizza, where would you guys send us in the area, Coach Fiorenzo?
Hackensack. There is a place right across the street that I've had once or twice, but if we're doing Hackensack, I think Lido's.
My buddy, I graduated high school and college with Steve Lonigan, who was the mayor of Bogota. He ran for governor, he ran for senator. He owns Lido's, and they make the best thin crust pizza.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're putting that down, Coach. We're putting that one down.
And Steve, if you hear this, remember, next time when we're out looking for sponsors.
That's it.
Gonna need it to buy some new balls.
That's it.
What is your favorite softball memory at Bergen Tech?
For me, I guess I've only had 2 seasons, so Florida this year with the girls, because you see them as not just players but as people too.
Oh, very nice. How about you, Coach Mele?
2019. We beat Glen Rock in the first round of county tournament, and we had to go to play IHA and Riley White, who I watched play on TV now. My assistant coach at the time, Brian Calabrese's daughter, was our pitcher, and she threw the game 10 innings shutout, and she struck out 1 batter. And it was just like watching Greg Maddox pitch. I don't think she threw a fastball the whole game. And we made all the plays, ground balls, pop. I mean, we just played. And the only way we could have ever beaten them was to go to the international tiebreaker, because we couldn't get 3 hits in an inning to score a run off Riley White. And we do, and we go to the tiebreaker, and we have to run around third base, and Gianna Sarlo hits a triple. And we win the game 1-0, and it's the biggest. I was joking with a buddy of mine the other day. I was part of 2 of the biggest upsets in county history. My high school team was ranked number 1, and we lost to the 16 with Bob Clappish, the sports writer. And we were the 17, and we beat a 1. And they were a great team. Just to even go play. To go play at IHA is like going to Hollow Grounds. It's like going to Lambeau Field or Yankee Stadium or Madison Square. I mean, it's the ultimate softball stadium facility, whatever. And to beat them, that was it. And be named head coach after 3 years as an assistant.
Now we really like Coach, because he mentioned Madison Square Garden. We're big time Knick fans here, so for you to say that.
I was a kid. I used to take the bus over to Port Authority, run down 8th Avenue, and see Clyde and Earl Monroe and Will Shreed.
Oh, you got to come on and talk Knick with us one time. All right, and my last one, personal one for you. Well, just a little personal to see if you guys go. Coach Feorenzo, your favorite baseball team?
Yankees.
Coach?
Mets.
Oh, so you keep saying how good you get along. This could be like the chopping block here, Mets or Yankees. I mean,
we don't talk much baseball.
I was gonna
I wish the Mets had the history the Yankees have. So
okay.
All right, and my last one is, if you guys could have a walk-up song. You're a player now, back in your playing days or current. What would your walk-up song be? Yeah, rapid fire is the tough question sometimes.
Yeah, I really like, it's not old, but it was something when we were in high school, either All of the Lights or It's My Time.
Nice. And how about you, Coach Mele?
John Fogerty, center field.
There you go.
Very
It's a good one.
Coaches, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, we know in season especially how busy you guys are, how dedicated you are to your team, and really appreciate you taking the time to join us here. And we wish you much success, as the season goes on. Best of luck to you in all of your remaining games and those numerous tournaments that you guys are playing in.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Good luck.
Hey,
Yes.
Can we watch this or?
Oh yeah.
So it is. So there, I'll actually email you the direct links, Coach, when it's done. So it's okay. Right now we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But on all of those platforms, you could always go back and see it as well. But I will. I'll email you the links directly. Either tonight or tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
No
And thank you for the
problem.
exposure for our program. And I hope, we keep playing well and then we finish off what we started.
Awesome.
And then you come on again.
Absolutely.
Celebrate
we'll do a
some
celebratory
championships.
show.
Hey, be nice.
Thank you,
so
coaches.
much.
No problem. Good luck,
Thank you,
guys.
Lauren.
Of course.
Okay.
So we have Coach Lafferman from Jersey Thunder in the waiting room as well. So
Okay,
I'm
you
going
can bring
to
her in.
bring her in next. So let me get her in here and situated. Again, good luck. It would be nice to see them maybe
Oh, yeah.
undefeated.
Absolutely.
Hi, Coach Lafferman. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good to be here.
All right, and let me just officially introduce you. We are joined by Coach Lindsay Lafferman. She is here to talk a little bit about some summer lacrosse playing opportunities. She's the girls director of the Jersey Thunder Girls Lacrosse Club team, as well as the director of the Lax On leagues and clinics that she does as well. But we're not going to say too much about it because you're going to start us off.
Yeah, my first question's nice. First off, thank you again for joining us. Pleasure having you. And first question, the easy one. We just want you to talk about both of your programs.
Sure. So I'll talk about Jersey Thunder first. We're a club program based in the Montville area, but we have players from all over, which is great, just for kids to get to meet various players from so many different towns. Right now we cater to kids grades 6 and up. We offer terrific recruiting support. That's something that I think is really priceless. My co-directing partner, Mike Spinner, is just fantastic with our recruiting support. He really helps the kids just get a good idea as to how to find the best school for them and how to kind of navigate that field, which is really, I think, could be quite overwhelming for athletes. So, we're really proud of what we're doing at Thunder. We really want to grow the game and, give kids an opportunity to learn, have fun. I love our staff. We have some great goalie coaches on staff, terrific field coaches, just from various different schools and experience levels. So it's a great place to be. We're currently looking for a few more players at Thunder as well. So if there's any athletes out there looking to play this summer, you can always reach out on Instagram or email us. But just a great opportunity for kids to continue to play. I think, 2 days a week and tournament play is just a really nice way to continue to enjoy the game through the summer season.
And you want to talk a little bit about Lax On as well?
Yeah, so Lax On has been it's been established since about 2014. It's crazy to think how long it's been now. So Lax On takes place on Mondays in the summer. It is a summer camp program for kids entering grades 3rd through 8th grade in September. So it's an hour-and-a-half clinic each week. Another just, great chance. Just, I think there's value in for kids to learn from other coaches. I think that everybody has so much to teach, and there's so many different ways to go about the game. And so many, just the game is so deep, and there's so much to learn, and it's a lot of fun. So I think, Lax On gives kids an opportunity to just meet new coaches, get a stick in their hands, and play as well. And then what's really neat is that after the clinic ends, the young ones usually stay around to watch the college kids come on. So Lax On Summer League is for high school seniors and current college players or anybody post-college who still wants to compete. We have players from Division 1, 2, and 3, club levels, all coming out under the lights, fast-paced, on the turf, lots of fun, great way for athletes who are playing in college or post-college who still want to stay in shape, keep their stick in their hands in the summer. Lots of fun officiated games. So, that's really a highlight in the summer is to just sit back and enjoy some good lacrosse. And you could check that out at Central Park Turf and Morris Plains throughout the summer. Just to watch, you could see we have players from Rutgers and Liberty, Moravian, Montclair, FDU, Drew. So it's a really nice, diverse group. And what's nice too is a lot of the kids recognize friends from whether they played with them in club or they played with them in high school. So often they reunite at Lax On, which is always fun.
You made such a great point, Lindsay, about the learning from other coaches. It's funny because I coaching, I would even like go to, let's say, like when I was coaching field hockey, to camp like with my kids, right? And I always had the option of coaching them while I was there, which I always declined, because not because I didn't want to coach them, but like if another coach could impart something on them in a way that like I couldn't, like I wanted them to be able to like hear it. So it's so nice to hear like another coach say that, because I always kind of believe that myself, like let them get it from someone else. If it maybe it works better for them than when I'm giving them, so, and take a little break from me, of course.
Absolutely. I really do like for my players to just hear from a different perspective. Sometimes it'll soak in differently, and pick up new ideas, and even just to learn from other players. I think that's the value of playing club, is that you get to see kids outside of your own space, right? So you get to see like other players who have other ways of shooting, and other little small things in their game that you can maybe pick up and kind of mimic after. And I think that there's a lot of value in branching out beyond your own rec program or high school program. And then, of course, to meet different coaches. I'm a big fan of that.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, I wanted to ask you, how important you think it is for players to take advantage of out-of-season playing opportunities. Obviously, we kind of pinpointed on like a personal level, like for them individually, but even towards their high school team, in that respect.
Yeah, I think that, at Jersey Thunder, we're really big fans of multi-sport athletes. So I love kids who play sports in the fall, and, if they're a basketball player, field hockey player, soccer, you name it, I support that. I think by playing club, though, it does give you another opportunity, particularly if lacrosse is the area that you want to, kind of take a step further and continue to play and grow. I think playing club really gives players an opportunity to do just that. And what's nice is that the commitment, in the summer, we practice 2 days a week, right? And 4 tournaments. So I think that it still allows you to practice maybe with your fall soccer team if they're having captain's practices and so forth. And it allows you to, still have time with your family, but there's just so much value in getting out. And, I think in club lacrosse too, I think players tend to feel a little bit less stress. They're not really, chasing for stats and worried about playing time. I think that it does relieve pressure. And I think for a lot of players, they're really successful in that kind of environment. And what's great too is that I've seen players through my time that didn't think they wanted to play in college, and then through playing in the club experience, they realized they don't want to be without it in the college world. So what's so nice is that they find a perfect fit for them academically, and then athletically, they're happy as can be. And I just think that that's just a great thing, right? For a player who may have felt like they really weren't sure which direction they were going, and by playing club and by, taking advantage of other opportunities to play, they find themselves a great home for the next 4 years.
Very nice.
I'm going to be a little Debbie Downer on this question. Not Debbie Downer, but a tough question. I'm going to put you in, and obviously you're going to speak about lacrosse, but I want you to kind of answer this maybe overall for sports. When I mean overall, I don't mean like football, because there really is no quote unquote like club football, spring football, which, you know what though, there are on younger levels. So would you say, or are you worried a little that, and I don't mean like this year, I mean down the road, because you could see it, and like when I played, it was like, okay, it was high school football, high school baseball, high school basketball, then it was like, well, then you play your summer ball, but it was like, high school comes first, high school comes first, high school comes first. Are you a little worried that, and again, for lacrosse or in sports in general, that down the road, you could see kids kind of prioritize the summer and the club leagues over the high school and say, that's my first priority. So I might not even play, lacrosse for the high school team. I'm going to concentrate on the club team and other sports. We just had Bergen Tech softball. Could it be like that? Are you worried a little like that? Is there a chance that could happen?
That's a fair question. I don't think that's been a major issue that I've noticed in the lacrosse world. I've had players who have played club for Jersey Thunder, and maybe they didn't play high school because they didn't have a high school team, actually. Or maybe their experience at the high school team really wasn't what they expected. I don't find kids are going towards club and skipping their high school program or vice versa necessarily. I don't know if that's the case in all sports. I think that there are, soccer clubs are quite big these days.
Right.
And soccer fan. I played myself, but in lacrosse, I don't see that to be a huge issue. My concern, kind of along that line, is I don't want players to drop all their other sports just to play lacrosse. I want my athletes playing multiple sports.
We love that.
And in Jersey Thunder, we love that, right? Like our kids, we know that in the fall they're busy playing other sports, and we help them kind of handle that commitment with the way we set up our schedule. I think that that's really great for athletes to just want to avoid the burnout, avoid too much stress on their body in certain ways by always using the same muscles and so forth. So I am a fan of multi-sport, and I don't necessarily think club versus high school. I don't think one's taking over the other, fortunately, right now.
So, Coach, one of the things that amazes me about lacrosse is how it is still an evolving sport. Not only in its growth, right? I mean, we're still seeing like new. I mean, I feel like I open up. Well, I was just gonna say open up the newspaper. Holy flashback to the night.
No, you don't do that anymore.
Exactly. I open up the internet, and I feel like I see teams that I never knew had lacrosse teams. Like, oh my gosh, they have a lacrosse team now, which I love. That the game is just continuing to grow, but it's also evolving still in its rules, which is like kind of uncharacteristic. There's some sports that really, for example, I have a friend who lives in Arizona and her daughter plays high school lacrosse there, and they just started wearing helmets. So I was wondering, I wanted to kind of get your opinion on that, because I know this is something, when I was coaching, I'm going to be honest, like I was anti-helmet, I was even maybe a little anti-goggles, I'm not going to lie, just out of the fear that it would actually make the sport a little more rough, right? That like we have this like false sense of security now that we've put this helmet on. And I say this because I think you and I are in agreement on this, like, you want to teach them to play the right way, and that helmet is almost like, now we're wielding wild sticks. But I was just curious if you thought, like, do you see that, like, helmets coming down the pike? Have you seen that elsewhere? Have you seen it at tournaments even?
It's funny. I'm in a lacrosse group that I saw a video posted of live game, and all the players were wearing helmets. So I'm assuming it could be Arizona, but I'm assuming it was Florida.
Okay.
Somewhere where helmets are definitely being worn. I don't see it coming down the path. I think it's going to continue to be choice for the most part because of U.S. Lacrosse, and I think their view on helmets. And honestly, at this point, I think it's really important to just continue to teach the game right and, keep really respect the rules of the game. I don't think I may have saw one player this whole season wear a helmet in my spring season. And if my players want to wear it, that's totally up to them. So I really do support it. But I don't see the game going down that path. It's interesting that certain states it's popping up.
Yeah. And it looked like, I saw a picture, I glanced quickly, I was assuming it would maybe be more of like a soft helmet, like those old school, but it was not. It was like a legit helmet.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like, I have to go back, but it seemed like, like the helmets you've seen, have they been more of those like softer ones, or?
They're still pretty solid, and
okay.
It's definitely a transition because when we played, we didn't have the goggles, like you said.
Right.
We didn't have helmets. We didn't even have boundaries.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. I know I'm a little older than you, but when we started, there were no boundaries, no out of bounds.
No training line, no boundaries.
Right.
Like, come back, you're a little too far.
And then you got to keep the ball. It's not like you had to turn it over. Like, you're just too far. Just come back in.
Dr. John Taylor, Irvington AD, says, my Irvington girls are looking for a summer program. Definitely want to keep playing this summer. Second year program, and they love playing. I'll be in touch.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent.
So
Dr.
Yeah.
John is a
Good
very
job.
good friend of the show, so
I think
if you guys need help getting in touch, I'll definitely put you in touch.
Thank you.
just don't mention Russell Wilson to him with the Broncos. He'll freak out. So he'll freak out.
At Thunder, we'll be offering our camp this summer at Thunder, and we have some private trainers on staff and small group training. So definitely anybody needs anything, we can help out. We have some great goalie coaches on staff. I think goalies always need at TLC, and that's something that I'm really proud of our goalie staff. So reach out if you have any questions about that.
My last one for you is, even since you also do the high school thing, whether you have some girls that play with the travel team, you coach against them, you might know some girls who are teammates. I think I'm not sure if I asked you this last time, but how is it like for you as a coach, or or see your teammates where now we're teammates in the summer, but now we're playing against each other, in the high school season. How is that for you?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's funny. Earlier tonight, one of my club players texted me a picture, and two local towns played each other, and I just love how they always remember to like take a cute picture all together after, because
that's nice.
ultimately it's about the relationships you make. And at Thunder, I think we always say we're a Thunder family, so it is so cool seeing our players on the opposite side and seeing them, post on Instagram and great things happening. And it's really fun when the girls see each other at games. And I was at a coin toss the other day hugging a player, who played club for us a few years ago. And it's always really nice to run into kids. And that's why I love at Laxon, is that I get to continue to see the girls. They get to come back and play. And it's nice. It's a great way to keep up and, continue to kind of follow along and support them. And that's the best thing about the game, I think, is that the relationships that are built.
My last question for you, Coach, is I'm going to get, I don't know if philosophical is the right word, but we have had the opportunity for the past 2 years to really highlight some up and coming or relatively new girl sports at the high school level, right? There's been a huge growth in female wrestlers at the varsity level, and now there's girls flag football. And I know you are a mom of twin girls, right? So I was just, as a coach, as a mom, how important is it for girls to just be involved in athletics?
Funny you say that, because an hour ago I was at cheerleading with my little ones. I can't say I thought I'd have little cheerleaders,
but you do have laxers also.
I do have laxers, and I will be at Lacrosse. I think it's so important. My kids played soccer in the fall. They tried basketball in the winter. We have lacrosse 2 days a week. I'm actually coaching park lacrosse, the K-2s, which is a blast. And now they're trying cheerleading. And honestly, I just want them to try and experience different things and start to form opinions. They're funny because on the lacrosse field, they hold me accountable. They say if I don't make it fun, they don't love it. They want to play games and they want to compete. And so it's cool. It's forcing me to kind of up my practice plan for K to second graders. But I think it's really, really important to try different things and see what sticks and what you really like. So for me as a mom, I'm encouraging them to try different things. And, it's just so cool, with little ones now, especially with basketball. That was really neat to see this winter. Even just like you said, learning from other coaches, watching how the coaches ran some basketball drills and realizing how I could carry it over to lacrosse. And so it's great. If they want to try softball, I'll support that as long as it doesn't conflict with lacrosse nights. No, it's terrific to have exposure, I think, to multiple sports, and there's just so much joy. And at this point, it's really social for them, but I think that they're going to love to compete as we get older.
Yeah, and like you said, if they love it now, you want to grow that love first, right? So that's awesome. Well, you are a return guest, Coach, so you know that we roll into a little rapid fire. So we were making sure we have no repeat questions for you tonight.
I hope my second one's not a repeat question.
I don't
know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, so my first one, and this has been one of my favorite recently. I don't know why. I just asked one person. I'm like, every week now, ask somebody. So you guys with the Jersey Thunder, you're black and orange, right? Those are your colors?
Yep.
Okay, so if you could only have, now we'll just talk hoodies, sweatshirts. If you could only go one color, would you go black, orange, gray, or white?
I would always pick black.
Okay.
You are talking to the apparel queen, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. As I mentioned before, you're the mom of twins. So this is Jordan and Ryder. You have to say which one is. Ready? Who is usually up first?
One more time.
Who's usually up first in the morning?
Jordan.
Oh, and who's to bed last?
Jordan.
And who is the pickier eater?
Ryder.
All right.
Okay, my last.
She's thinking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It depends. You know what? It's probably Ryder. I think Jordan's more adventurous.
I'm probably more pickier than both.
Yes.
Without a doubt. My last one is, we have now been trying to find something for the past 2 to 3 years, and when I mean a series to watch, right?
We're just bad. The only
Yeah,
thing
we're
that's
bad.
on TV is ESPN.
Yeah, besides ESPN, the only thing we did watch and we love is Cobra Kai. So we got to wait for that to come out season 5. But besides that, I'm going to be honest, I don't watch any series. She might want a
Hence, I
little.
don't
So we're
anymore.
looking to watch something together. So can you give us something, knowing, having a clue of like, I think they would like this. What do you think? Knowing us.
All right. So, well, my husband's been obsessed with Ted Lasso. So Chris would say Ted Lasso, Jen. And
Okay.
have you guys seen that?
That's a good. We have discussed Ted Lasso
Yes.
before, so all right.
Chris has been liking that.
Okay.
We're really big Blacklist fans because like the mystery and like trying to solve things.
Okay.
So Blacklist has been a series that we've stuck with since the beginning.
Okay.
It's a long investment though for you to go back on this now. So if you're gonna do it, you gotta be ready.
I mean, we
all in.
did watch Cobra Kai just straight one morning.
We did.
So New Year's morning. Yeah, New
You
Year's
just
Eve.
spend your
Yeah.
time doing something better.
All right, and my last one for you is, when are you, Chris, me, and Kurt finally gonna get together and go out?
I know. I know. It's been way too long. I miss our nights just hanging out, catching up. We'll have to do something this summer.
Definitely. But thank you so much for coming on. Again, we had Bergen Tech softball on before, and it's in season. We know how busy you are in your family life as well, so we really appreciate you taking the time, and we wish you nothing but the best moving forward.
Thank you guys. Always fun.
Thank you, Coach.
Have a good night. Say hi to Chris.
I will. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So that again, just the whole summer and that stuff is just blowing up. Where again, like I said, when we were in high school, real quick, like again, football we just did our off-season workouts, but baseball we had a little summer baseball, but it wasn't not like it is now. There was no traveling, or it wasn't, it was, you played on a team and you played a couple other towns, but there was no, going to tournaments, and it really wasn't like that. And it just went to a whole nother level with a lot of different sports. So.
No, definitely. It is, as a high school coach and a club director, it's hard because even as a high school, you want to provide those kids the opportunities not only to get better, but at that high school level to maybe have the recruiting opportunities, because as Lindsay was saying, it is difficult to navigate and can be overwhelming, and you want to find those kids the right fit, right, and get them ready for that next level, because those kids that are playing club, they want to do that, right, most of them, and some of them just want to be as good as they can be, or just enjoy playing the sport, which is great too. As a high school coach, you also kind of get caught up in the oh my gosh, if my kids aren't doing this, we're behind the 8 ball when the season starts, because it has blown up so much, and so many, and then you've got kids who are on teams that are all playing together in the off season as well. So
right.
It's become a I don't want to say struggle, but you want your kids to play and be the best that they can be, and you want to provide for the kids who want to go to that next level. You also want to be competitive, so it's really making it feel like almost the pressure of, oh my god, I have to get my kids to play because everybody's playing, and if we don't, like, how are we going to compete?
But getting to that, and again, I'd love to have, like, whether we have like one of the Campanellis on, Coach Sheridan, Coach Johnson, any of the Becton guys, like, that's the one thing with football where it's like, you don't have it. When I mean you don't have it, it's like, okay, when we coached, I coached in St. Mary's, anything we did, like, you're just a St. Mary's. There's no, okay, I'm going to go play football with the Rutherford kids in the summer. It's not like that. Like, you are, it's not like, okay, I'm a quarterback for St. Mary's, but I play receiver for the Rutherford.
Right.
You don't have that. So it's like, that's your team. You are, if you play football for 4 years, for 4 years, day in and day out, that is the only football team and it's just a little different than, like you're saying, you play basketball. Well, I'm on this AAU team, on this summer team. You're on a different sport. You're different positions. It's interesting when you think about it, though.
You actually make a very interesting point where you just said with different positions, because what can be interesting too is, like, again, I was a club director. My kids played club in multiple places, but I had kids who also played for me. but you might have a kid who then plays club somewhere else and maybe is playing a different position, and then they come back, and for you're not going to play them there, and it could create, you know, there's some interesting things that can kind of
It
happen,
is.
you know?
It's just when you think about it, it's, you know, listen, Coach Bergen Tech, they were just talking about how they said, okay, we're going to move this girl, put her, make her center fielder. Now she's a center fielder because, you know, you were able to do that.
Your high school needs are going to be different than those club team needs.
But when you're in football, that's it. You're the guard. You're the guard. I mean, you're not playing. Where are you showcasing yourself somewhere else? You're not. Or showcase. You have to be the guard. Like you're saying, we need you as a guard. You're playing a guard. There's no, okay, in the summer I'm going to play here. I mean, it's a little different when you think about it. And it's like day in and day out. That's all you have. Those are your teammates. That is your team. There's no, okay, I'm teaming with Rutherford. No, we don't team with Rutherford. You might have a clinic, you might do something like that, but you will never be a teammate of a kid from Rutherford. And when you think about it, and we're having this conversation, it's like a different world.
But we always do say that for so many reasons that football does have its own, you know, sometimes just doesn't follow have some of the same things that other sports experience because of the nature of the sport, definitely. And
Dr. John's coming in. My oldest daughter is 10 and plays goalie for her club Lax team. She's good, but she plays with her friends. Something I didn't expect. She and I are often by camp directors and those who run clinics trying to get her to sign up. She says no because she wants to play with her friends. I'm glad she likes to play and would play year-round with her friends, but I didn't expect how she's essentially being recruited by other organizations at 10.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, Dr. John. So my niece went to St. Mary's Prep, and you know, she played basketball when she was younger, like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and there were AAU coaches at those prep school, Catholic school games recruiting for their AAU teams. Yeah, so it's become like, again, you know, even that you're getting recruited. So interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. John. Yep, that's happening as well.
But that was it.
Yep.
3 great guests, the 2 Bergen Tech, and of course Lindsay with the Jersey Thunder.
Great to have it, and good luck to them all this season. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
See you guys next Tuesday.